The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They start on the ground with Elliott. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
On second and 11 now. Wilson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. And got his man complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms, because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. From the 6. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's Wilson. Open man here is Conklin. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Randy Gregory. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He'll take it at the 42. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Elliott, toss right. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wilson finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
Now on 2nd and 13, Wilson. He'll get this out right here to Elliott. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And the Jets are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off. I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. 3rd down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7.
You see that celebration from him after that stop? Those corners don't normally have the chance to get behind the line of scrimmage and hand them big losses. So when he got that opportunity, he certainly made it a memorable one.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first 2 possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
Here's the Jets punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Returning it, here's Hamler. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And the Jets are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line.
And partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
After the interception, here's Wilson. He finds his man complete. It's Wilson. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On first down, Wilson. And able to find Allen Lazard. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. So this defense, they get their first interception of the game, and since they were in plus territory, didn't have too terribly far to go, but they take it all the way into the end zone.
And you intercepted in that close, you're automatically picking 6 points the other way. But what I like most about it was how the defense rallied, got up on their blocks, and didn't commit any penalties as well.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
From the 30 on second down, Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Hall. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down. The Jets at 1-3 here in the early part of the year. They've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
Throwing on second and long, Wilson. Looking left side, and it's complete.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. but that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. They motion the tight end across the formation. They go play action now. Wilson. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Now Elliott. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 4th down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal. The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Now on 2nd and 13, Wilson under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Myles Garrett able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And his kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing at the break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board. Give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. able to get away. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes this up to the 47.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Myles Garrett in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down. Well, there were about 70,000 that were quickly calling for that flag. It comes out there for pass interference.
And what do you think, partner? A little sarcasm in that cheering from this crowd here tonight. What they're hoping now is to build a little momentum off of it and give them a more genuine reason to cheer down the road.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Option play, here's Hall. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. Now Wilson on 1st down. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Now it's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Myles Garrett, make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. To throw is Wilson. Going for the deep ball. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Jets are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. Wilson sliding out of the pocket. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Here's Wilson. And this one is incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Fourth down. Here's Wilson. He finds his man. Complete. That's Wilson. And he's going to have the Jets first down. A well-designed play there. That gets him 16 to move the chains. Now it's Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Wilson. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
They'll run with Hall. Room here to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. Rolling to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Now on fourth down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away.
He's got a man, complete.
And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30.
A huge play there for Denver, 41 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Gonna throw deep for the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. Coverage.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
Now Wilson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to look deep for more.
And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game.
John Johnson with the INT.
And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. And that's now a half-dozen interceptions for him over the last 2 games. Because CD, remember, he threw 3 in the last ball game and now 3 more here.
And the way that you present it, partner, I'm not sure what sounds worse, right? Half a dozen over the last 2 games or 3 the last game, 3 this game. Either way, it's way too many. And that's something they'll have to work on, hoping to get through the rest of this game without having to address it again.
This pass caught by Hamler. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. second down and goal. Wilson. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal.
Here's Wilson to throw. Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. A great effort there. His fourth touchdown on the year.
And the Broncos look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Straight ahead is Hall. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, a very anemic, 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 11 from the shotgun. Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. On 1st down, Wilson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley.
And the Jets are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
It certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
Yeah, still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson, and some room to roam now. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic